Brother, right now there's a woman in your life sending you crystal clear signals that she wants you, and you're completely missing them. Not because they're subtle, because you're blind to what you're not looking for. And by the time you finally notice, she'll has moved on to a guy who actually pays attention. I'm talking about 5 specific signs women give when they're ready for you to make a move. Not vague hints, clear invitations disguised as casual behavior. She's doing everything except spelling it out in neon letters, and you're sitting there wondering if she likes you. Here's the brutal truth. Women won't explicitly say, "I want you." That requires vulnerability they're not willing to risk until they know you feel the same. Instead, they send progressively clearer signals, hoping you'll recognize them and escalate. When you keep missing the signs, they assume you're either not interested or too timid to act. Either way, they move on. Today, I'm breaking down all 5 signs so you can finally recognize when the door's wide open. Let's go. Sign 1. She keeps finding reasons to be alone with you. The first sign you're missing, she's engineering situations where you're isolated together in private. Not public dates, not group hangouts, private scenarios where intimacy could naturally happen. She suggests watching movies at her place instead of theaters. She accepts invitations to your apartment without hesitation. She lingers at your door after dates instead of immediately leaving. She asks if you want to come up for a drink when you drop her off. This isn't coincidence. Women are deliberate about privacy. When she's not ready for intimacy, everything stays public. Coffee shops, restaurants, group settings. The shift to seeking private time is intentional. She's removing barriers to escalation, creating conditions where things can progress without interruption, setting the stage and waiting for you to recognize what stage has been set. But you're missing it because you think she just wants to hang out. Wake up. When a woman repeatedly creates private scenarios with you, she's communicating readiness. She's built the opportunity. Now she's waiting for you to take it. Sign 2. Her touch becomes lingering and intimate. The second sign, the quality of her touch changes dramatically. Not just touching you more, her touches become slower, longer, and more intimate in placement. Her hand lingers on your arm when she touches you. She runs her fingers along your forearm during conversation. She touches your face, your neck, your hair. She finds reasons to maintain contact instead of brief taps. Watch where she's touching your thigh during conversation, the hair at the nape of your neck, her hand running down your back. These are intimate zones that signal sexual interest, not friendship. The quality matters too. Quick touches are friendly. Slow, lingering, caressing touches are sensual. When her hand rests on your leg and slowly moves rather than just tapping, that's sexual energy. She might guide your touch too, taking your hand and placing it on her waist, her thigh, her lower back. She's literally showing you where she wants to be touched, but you're missing it because you think she's just touchy. Wake up. When a woman's touch becomes intimate and lingering, she's communicating physical desire. She's escalating and waiting for you to match her escalation. Sign 3. She talks comfortably about sexual topics. The third sign, she starts bringing up sexual subjects in conversation. Not graphic, but she stops avoiding anything related to sex and might even initiate discussions about intimate topics. She asks about your past relationships in terms of physical compatibility. She mentions attraction directly. She references sex in movies or conversations in ways that apply to you both. She makes sexual jokes or innuendos she wouldn't have made before. She might test the waters. I love when a guy knows what he's doing while looking at you. She's not talking about random people. She's talking about what she finds attractive sexually while making eye contact with you. She asks questions that seem casual but are actually gathering intel. What's your type? What turns you on? These aren't random curiosity. She's figuring out if she fits what you desire. Women prepare mentally for physical intimacy by first normalizing discussing it. By introducing sexual topics, she's building comfort with the idea of you two being sexual together. She's also gauging your responses. but you're missing it because you think it's just interesting conversation. Wake up. When she's comfortable discussing sex with you and keeps bringing it up, she's preparing you both mentally for it to become physical. Sign 4. She starts dressing provocatively around you. The fourth sign, her clothing choices when seeing you become noticeably more revealing or form-fitting. She's using appearance to communicate sexual availability. Notice the change. If she was dressing casually early on and now shows up in outfits highlighting her body, that shift is intentional. Lower cut tops, tighter clothes, shorter skirts, clothing that showcases rather than hides. Context matters. If you're just hanging at her place and she's wearing something sexy instead of comfortable casual, that's a signal she's putting effort into being visually appealing, even in casual settings. Watch for lingerie becoming visible, bra straps showing deliberately, lacy details visible through clothing. Women are very aware of what's showing. If intimate clothing is visible, she wants you noticing and thinking about what's underneath. She might mention her outfit. Do you like this dress? She's drawing your attention and fishing for confirmation that you find her attractive. The correct response is direct appreciation. You look incredible, but you're missing it because you're trying to be respectful and not notice. Wake up. When she's dressing to emphasize her sexuality around you, she wants you noticing. She's inviting you to see her sexually. Sign 5. She gives you verbal green lights. The fifth sign you're missing, she's saying specific phrases that are explicit invitations disguised as casual statements. These aren't subtle, they're direct if you understand the subtext. I'm not ready to leave yet when you're at one of your places late. Translation, I want to stay here with you and I'm open to what that means. You could stay if you want when you're about to leave her place. Direct invitation to spend the night. The casualness is protective, but the invitation is clear. I feel really comfortable with you in an intimate moment. She's communicating safety and trust, prerequisites for physical intimacy. The barriers are down. I like where this is going during escalating contact. Verbal confirmation to continue. Permission to keep escalating. What are you thinking about when there's sexual tension? She's opening the door for you to verbalize desire so she can reciprocate. These phrases are simultaneous invitation and test. She's saying yes while giving you room to lead. If you respond, she can fully engage. If you don't, she can pretend it was casual, that you're missing it because you take the words at literal surface value. Wake up. When a woman says these specific phrases in intimate contexts with strong eye contact, she's giving explicit verbal permission to escalate. Let me bring this together. 5 signs you're missing. She creates private, isolated time with you. Her touch becomes lingering and intimate. She discusses sexual topics comfortably. She dresses provocatively for your attention. And she gives verbal green lights through specific phrases. These aren't subtle hints. They're clear communication that she's ready. She's done everything except explicitly say, I want you, because that vulnerability is too risky until she knows you feel the same. When you keep missing these signs, she assumes you're not interested or too scared to act. Either way, her attraction fades and she moves on to someone who recognizes opportunity. Stop being oblivious. Start paying attention to what she's actually communicating through behavior. When you see these signs, especially multiple signs together, understand what's being said and have the confidence to escalate. She's already told you yes through her actions. Now she's waiting for you to hear it and respond, like a man who recognizes when a woman wants him. If this woke you up to signals you've been missing, subscribe. I'm breaking down what women are actually communicating versus what you think they're saying. Hit subscribe so you stop missing opportunities that are right in front of you.